Up, we'll show you what the Adams County Health Department is doing to keep area residents safe.
Right now, we're going to see that drop in temperatures. In fact, our highs today will stick around for like an hour, and then we're going to see them fall all the way into this afternoon.
This is KHQA This Morning, working for you.
Good morning to you, and welcome to KHQA This Morning as we start off your 20th day of March. I'm Chad Douglas.
I know. Where's that at?
I don't know. I'm
where that is.
scrolling through the teleprompter like a madman to get
I know.
there. If anybody wants to help me out, we will tell you. Hey, it's
Hey,
downtown
Chicago. And it looks like a ghost town.
Yes.
And it's normally kind of starting to pick up right now because people have to get to work at least a lot of times by 6 a.m. But I know a lot of offices in downtown Chicago, they force their employees to work from home.
Absolutely. Well, again, we welcome you to the show. Melissa is out this week. She'll be out next week, back with us hopefully on March 30th.
Yes, you missed it yesterday. It's because she's in quarantine. She went on a dream vacation to Ireland.
It turned into a nightmare.
That turned into a nightmare. So she's at home in self-quarantine.
She's fine. She's not
fine.
sick. It's
She's just making sure.
She was
she's
overseas
good.
in Ireland, which was when they came back, and then she had to go through O'Hare when she and half the country were
So
going
when
through
you
O'Hare,
saw those
I think.
pictures like O'Hare Airport, she was in that
Yeah,
mess.
she look for her in there
Yeah,
somewhere. So, so she'll be back with us in a week or so.
Yes, your forecast for today, though, yesterday afternoon, wow, I hope you had a chance just to get out of the house for an hour or so just to breathe in that fresh air. But today, it's a totally different story. We got the mid-40s early this morning. Temperatures are steadily falling already. You can see where that cold front is as we have 39 degrees in Novelty, but still 55 degrees in Jacksonville. The steady drop will continue today, but the snow chances also increase. We'll talk about that coming up.
On to your news. Health officials say an Adams County man has tested positive for COVID-19. The man is in his 30s to 40s and is recovering at home after travel exposure. This is Adams County's first positive case. With the latest, here's KHQA's Kendall Hyde on why health officials say that number will continue to go up.
The COVID-19 virus that has affected the health of so many across the world has entered our county.
Words heard throughout the country arrived in the Gem City Thursday afternoon. Health officials say an Adams County man became infected with COVID-19 while traveling. An investigation began when test results came back positive to determine who had contact with the patient before his diagnosis.
All of our local contact tracing has been completed. So at this point, we've made notifications to individuals that we need to have monitor for symptoms and be aware that they were potentially exposed.
Public Health Administrator Jared Welch predicted this day would come sooner or later and says the number of cases is expected to rise with even more testing.
We will need to start being respectful of one another, understanding that social distancing really means something, understanding that if this virus continues to spread, the burden on our community will grow.
As for what's next, health officials say the answer comes down to the actions and the inactions of tri-state residents.
We actually received a delivery of more testing kits today, so we have plenty of testing kits. We are still testing based on the CDC and IDPH guidelines for testing. Make sure if you have signs and symptoms to please call the line and we will direct you to the right place.
Illinois now has 422 cases in 22 counties, including the one announced Thursday in Adams County.
The Adams County Health Department says 35 tests have been conducted with 25 cases still pending. Statewide, the news wasn't very positive throughout the land of Lincoln yesterday. Governor J.B. Pritzker held his daily news conference where he announced 3 more deaths from coronavirus. Those deaths happened in Cook, Will, and Sangamon counties. The governor says the state has tested thousands of residents. Cases have ranged in age from 9 to 99. Governor Pritzker also announced a series of new measures to help Illinoisans affected by COVID-19. Those measures include sales tax deferral for bars and restaurants, SBA loan eligibility, new grocery hours for seniors, and expanded health care services. New this morning, the University of Iowa is reporting its first case of COVID-19 on campus. Staff say the case is being reported because the student self-identified. The student, a member of the College of Dentistry, was on campus on March 12th. Campus officials say the student does not live on campus and is self-isolating. COVID-19 has lowered the price of gas across the country. According to Forbes magazine, the decline of crude oil consumption in China has caused gas prices to drop. Forbes added that the average cost of regular gas fell 12 cents per gallon last month. Experts say fewer people hitting the roads due to social distancing also contributes to the drop in prices.
I feel that it's good for us, but like I said, everybody's scared and they don't want to get out and get this gas while they should, so I encourage them to come out.
According to Business Insider, the price decline is good for consumers, but harmful for the oil industry, which could contribute to a recession.
Now, your exclusive KHQA Elite Weather Team forecast.
We had thunderstorms and some pretty heavy rain across the tri-states yesterday, but we dodged that significant weather yesterday evening, which is some good news for the tri-states. Those storms stayed well north of the viewing area. We really anticipated them firing up, just didn't quite get enough heating in the afternoon, and we're okay with that. So those storms did stay north. We did pick up on quite a bit of rain. We're back into the mid-40s this morning, but temperatures are already steadily falling. In fact, it feels like 29 degrees right now in Novelty and Fort Madison. This is what it's going to feel like throughout much of the day. But notice where that cold front lies in between Mount Sterling down through Barry, Hannibal down through Mexico, Missouri, because it's 51 degrees is what it feels like in Pittsfield, but 29 in Novelty, so that cold air is on the way. Winds also very brisk today. This is sustained right now. 20 miles per hour in Quincy, 21 in Fort Madison, 20 in Mount Sterling, 15 in Monroe City. Wind gusts clocking in right now at 35 miles per hour in Keokuk, 29 in Macomb, 22 in Pittsfield, 20 in Monroe City, 27 in Novelty. So a very cold, very blustery day today. Quite a big change from where we were yesterday. In fact, daytime highs this morning are 30 degrees colder, only to get colder yet heading into this afternoon. So we got rid of a lot of that rain and cloud cover, so we'll still see some clouds this morning. We'll break up a little bit through midday. Cold front moves in, sunshine this afternoon, but very frigid back into the 20s tonight. Tomorrow, lots of sunshine, mid-40s for daytime highs. And then by the time we head into your Saturday night and Sunday, more moisture on the way as temperatures get colder. Rain, snow mix likely by the end of the weekend. So 41 degrees, we hit that high this morning. Temperatures steadily falling into the 30s this afternoon. Gusty winds as well, so cold and breezy. 26 degrees tonight, partly cloudy, a lot colder. And that weekend forecast has us in the 40s with a chance for snow on Sunday, but milder and warmer next week.
Well, we are about 6 hours into spring, and it feels like it on the East Coast at least. That weather is helping Washington, D.C.'s iconic cherry blossoms to bloom. Due to the coronavirus outbreak, though, events associated with the trees have been canceled or postponed. National parks are open, but officials are encouraging social distancing. And that's because the number of coronavirus cases continues to multiply within the U.S., along with the number of lives it has claimed. Confirmed cases have more than doubled since Tuesday. Officials say that total will continue to rise as more people are tested. Yesterday, no new infections were reported in China. That is the first time that has happened since the virus emerged there late last year. More financial aid may soon be on the way. As John Lawrence shows us, Senate Republicans have a major economic stimulus package that is aimed to help those struggling financially due to the coronavirus pandemic.
Senate Republicans unveiled the Coronavirus Aid Relief and Economic Security Act, a $1 trillion proposal.
The widespread goal among all of us, both the White House and Senate Republicans, is to get cash directly into the hands of the American people.
The goal is to help those taking a financial hit from COVID-19.
It's a very stressful time for everybody. You know, you have to worry about getting sick, but you also have to worry about if your bills are going to get paid.
The Republican plan calls for recovery rebates of up to $1,200 for individuals and $2,400 for couples below a certain financial threshold. Right now, it's just a proposal, and Senate Democrats say the plan is a non-starter and complain they weren't part of the process.
If we want to get this done quickly, the best way to do it is to have a four corners negotiation, House and Senate, majority and minority.
Majority Leader McConnell says bipartisan talks were skipped to get things done faster.
The Republicans are in the majority in the Senate. We wanted to put forward our proposal. We feel like we have an obligation to do that as a majority. And the Democrats, of course, need to be given an opportunity to react to it.
But top Senate Democrat Chuck Schumer and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi issued a statement Thursday night saying the plan puts corporations way ahead of workers. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Jobless claims for last week rose to 281,000 Americans, a high not reached in 2.5 years. The coronavirus threat has prompted a mandatory shelter-in-place order in California. The edict was issued late last night by Governor Gavin Newsom, who called it a difficult but necessary decision. It extends to everyone except those whose jobs are deemed essential. The governor would not say how long people will be expected to stay home. And pictures have been circulating all over social media of beaches in Florida crowded with spring breakers, ignoring calls for social distancing among the COVID-19 pandemic. Governor Ron DeSantis has refused to order the beaches closed, so communities including Miami-Dade, Manatee, Sarasota, Naples, Tampa, and Fort Lauderdale have shuttered them on their own. American Airlines has not flown a cargo-only flight in 36 years. Well, today that changes. Americans say it'll use its grounded planes to transport cargo between the U.S. and Europe, ensuring goods can be delivered. American is grounding 55,000 flights because of decreased demand from coronavirus. Quincy Public Schools are getting critical meals on wheels to students while classes are out of session thanks to COVID-19. Plus, the coronavirus cancels blood donation drives, and now the American Red Cross faces a record shortage. Why you can still give, coming up on KHQA This Morning.
Driver and weather with Tegan Orpin. KHQA This Morning, working for you.
Welcome back to KHQA This Morning. It's 5:14. Today's number of the day takes a closer look at the media's coverage of the coronavirus. 48% of voters believe the national news created panic by overhyping the virus outbreak, while 14% believe the media did not do enough to warn the public of potential danger. There is also partisan divide when it comes to the topic, no surprise. 64% of Republicans say they don't believe the coronavirus coverage at all, while most Democrats feel the media provided a valuable service. Moving now to your state-to-state news. In Missouri, hospitals in the St. Louis area are canceling all elective procedures starting Monday in an effort to slow the spread of coronavirus. Several hospital systems announced the suspension of elective procedures yesterday. The hospitals say they are looking to protect both patients as well as caregivers. The change involves all procedures that can be delayed 8 weeks or longer without risk. Moving to Illinois, the rapid spread of coronavirus has slowed Amtrak riders in the state. And because of that, happening today, Amtrak is suspending service on the Carl Sandburg train between Quincy and Chicago. The suspension is scheduled to last until May 31st. The Illinois Zephyr train route will still operate as normal. And in Iowa, there are now 44 cases of COVID-19, with 6 new cases confirmed by the governor. It's confirmed across 13 counties. KHQA's Iowa State House reporter Caroline Cummings brings us the latest information from state officials about the virus and containment efforts in the Hawkeye State.
We learned those numbers at the governor's news conference Thursday, and it was a little different than other news conferences. Some reporters inside, but the majority of us were telephoning in. That's what I did. And the idea is that we're all trying to minimize the amount of people in the room and truly social distance. And it's that practice and others like washing your hands and staying home when you're sick that Governor Reynolds and public health officials say is essential for all Iowans to do at this time. Public health officials say this is all in an effort to flatten the curve or minimize overburdening the healthcare system with patients.
COVID-19 is unlike anything we've seen before.
The pandemic is hitting hospitals and doctors everywhere, taxing the global supply of protective gear like face masks and gloves. State officials are advising healthcare professionals to be, quote, careful and thoughtful with supplies, and for Iowans to donate the equipment if they can.
There's a lot of need around these supplies, and so we've helped our partners be forward-thinking and thinking about ways to make prudent use of the supplies that we have.
Reynolds on Thursday said the state added a third shift to the state hygienic lab to boost the ability to test more quickly. The state currently has the capacity to test 800, and public health officials stress that at least right now, most people won't get tested. They're reserving those tests for people who meet certain criteria, like people who live in the same household as someone who tested positive or recently came home from places like China or Iran. That's why it's important for Iowans to stay away from others if they're feeling sick at all.
We just cannot say that enough. If you are sick, stay home.
I'll keep following the governor and the state's response to this COVID-19 outbreak. And if you have any of your own questions, the governor is encouraging calling the state's hotline 211. Again, that's 211. In Des Moines, Caroline Cummings reporting.
Now, your exclusive KHQA Elite Weather Team forecast.
It is 5:17 as we make our way into your Friday. It has been a really long week for many households. And as we head through today, hopefully a little bit of a break just to catch some fresh air yesterday. Today, though, different story. It's already very cold out there and extremely windy as temperatures steadily fall. You can see where that cold front is at the moment with 39 degrees in Keokuk, but still 55 degrees in Jacksonville. Kids, your school day forecast isn't traditional like it normally is, and you'll probably be rolling out of bed here pretty soon. 41 degrees by the time you get your schoolwork started this morning. By this afternoon, it just kind of depends on how strict your teachers are at home, if you have to go all day or just have to do schoolwork for a couple of hours. But by this afternoon, it'll be chilly, 36 degrees and breezy.
China has been accused of stealing American military, trade, and business secrets. Now, some worry China is trying to infiltrate our college campuses. Dozens of U.S. campuses host Confucius Institutes, China-backed programs designed to teach Chinese language and culture to students. China's education ministry provides the funding, materials, and the staff. Critics say that could allow the foreign nation to control the message and then influence students.
Just for teaching Chinese and exposing American students to Chinese culture.
Who pulls the strings at Confucius Institute?
It is a top-down organization, but at the end of the day, it's all driven from this, the top of the Chinese Communist Party.
The FBI has said it is watching the Confucius Institutes carefully, and some lawmakers have called for schools to shut them down amid concerns that they could be used to spy on academic research. Inside the Confucius Institute controversy this Sunday on Full Measure with Cheryl Atkinson.
Start your mornings with KHQA This Morning.
Happening today, the next big weather maker is...
And new this half hour, listen to this story.
Weekday mornings at 5 a.m.
Part of the community's proactive plan to slow the spread of COVID-19. Expect changes to enter Hannibal Regional Hospital and Hannibal Regional Medical Group beginning now until further notice. Patients who have fever, cough, and shortness of breath are asked to use a special entrance east of the emergency department. You can find a complete list of all other changes right now at khqa.com. And in consumer news, Kohl's is one of the latest businesses to shut its doors due to the coronavirus outbreak. The store announced that as of last night, it will temporarily close all stores nationwide. As of now, the stores are scheduled to reopen April 1st. Kohl's is joining a growing list of retailers closing due to the coronavirus pandemic. TJ Maxx announced overnight it is closing all of its stores for 2 weeks. That includes TJ Maxx stores, Marshalls, and Home Goods. Bed Bath & Beyond is temporarily closing more than half of its stores. Many of its employees were concerned about it staying open during the coronavirus outbreak. The company announced Thursday it will close about 800 stores until April 3rd. Employees will continue to be paid during that time, though. 700 Bed Bath & Beyond stores will stay open under shortened hours. The coronavirus outbreak comes at a particularly bad time for this retailer. It has lost ground to big box competitor Target and Amazon online. Bed Bath & Beyond has posted a string of weak sales reports, including the last holiday season.
No word yet, though, on the Quincy store.
Yeah, I have not heard specifically. Some of the stuff that I read said that they offer cleaning products, so they didn't want to completely close because people go buy their cleaning products there. So, in entertainment news, country music's biggest nights will not take the stage for the Academy of Country Music Awards. Instead, they're going to perform from their homes to yours. This is a really cool idea.
Concert.
Yes. The Academy postponed the award show due to the coronavirus, but CBS will air a 2-hour special called ACM Presents Our Country. It'll feature conversations and at-home performances. Participating artists will be announced soon. ACM Presents Our Country. It airs Sunday, April 5th, right here on KHQA CBS.
And this is something I'm very excited about. The Christmas magic, well, it is coming. Hallmark Channel is looking to lift spirits as more people are self-quarantined. Hallmark will air 27 original Countdown to Christmas holiday movies this weekend. You can watch some feel-good TV, starting with The Christmas Detour today on the Hallmark Channel.
You know, I'm not a big fan so far of 2020.
Is
And not that
anybody?
I'm wishing to wish my life away, but by watching Christmas movies, and then it'll be April, and this year will fly by.
I know. But here's the thing. I love how companies, both local and national, are stepping up to try to help.
Yeah, and we're
It's
all just
awesome.
learning how to deal with the new normal, I guess.
Yes. I don't like this normal. This is not normal. In
This
fact,
is-
this
yeah,
is
this is
below
not normal. It's
This
spring
is
now.
below. Yes. Officially, so it rained yesterday just after 10 o'clock.
Mhm.
Today is official full day of spring. This weekend, it's going to feel like winter. 42 degrees tomorrow, partly sunny, rain, snow mix, a high near 44 on Sunday.
But better things to come next week.
Yes.
All right, we'll be back with your morning brew, and on Fridays, we showcase some of our favorite things. Did you remember? Erie into Erie, Pennsylvania.
What
I
is
think that's kind of the point. It is 5:28, time for your morning brew and favorite things Friday.
Yeah. Am I going to go first?
Sure. Last week you yelled at me because you never get to go first.
Well, it's 2 weeks in a row. Hey, this coronavirus thing has some ups to it. Here, I get to go first. Okay. No, just kidding. Okay, so lately, I don't know if you like me because we're stuck inside a little more and the kids are home. I find myself cooking a little bit more, baking, and I realize I've never brought this in, but it is one of my favorite things. So instead of going to the store and buying aerosol, spray for your pan or whatever. This is from Pampered Chef. They have some incredibly inventive things, but what you do is you put your favorite oil in here. So this is pure olive oil for me. You take it up and then you just pump it.
Aimed right at me, which is awesome.
Yep, you just pump it and then you take it off and then you spray it and it comes out in an aerosol type form.
Okay.
But you're not doing any no toxic fumes or anything like that. It's just air that forces the oil out, and then you can put any kind of oil you want in there.
Very nice. All right. My favorite thing is a repeat. I kind of made a thing that I would show some of my truly favorite things.
Absolutely.
And so this week is one that I brought in a couple times before. It's actually just a picture, but it's an app that I use. My wife and I use. It's called Meal Board, and this may help you now that we're staying home more than ever and pre-planning. So we've made it a custom that on Saturday mornings we plan out our week's meals, and we look at what we have, and then we put it in the meal board, and that way we both know what's for dinner that night. It has a lot of features we don't use, one of which I think is very cool, but you have to stay on it. It has like a pantry feature, so you tell it what it has in your house, and then it will find recipes for you that you could make with stuff in your house. But once you use that item, you've got to go into the app and delete it and everything. But it does cost. It's one of the very few apps I've ever paid for. I think it was $4, but we use it every single week, and we've gotten into the habit of planning our meals out. And that's the reason we've done it.
Is it a one-time deal, or do you have to pay every month?
Nope, it is a one-time fee of $4. Or at least it was when I bought it a couple years ago.
Okay, awesome.
Moving back to the news of the day, here are 7 things to know to start your day. Number 1, health officials say an Adams County man has tested positive for COVID-19. Officials made the announcement at a news conference yesterday. The man is in his 30s to 40s and is recovering at home after travel exposure. Number 2, the cases of coronavirus continue to multiply within the U.S., along with the numbers of lives that it has claimed. Confirmed cases have more than doubled since Tuesday. Officials say that total will continue to go up, though, as more people are tested. Yesterday, no new infections were reported in China. That's the first time that has happened since the virus emerged in China late last year. Number 3, happening today, negotiations begin in the Senate on a third economic stimulus package to help Americans hurting financially from the COVID-19 pandemic. A Republican bill would put money directly in the hands of taxpayers, help small businesses, and offer billions in loans to airlines. Democrats have a bill enhancing unemployment insurance, allowing for paid leave, and insisting bailouts are worker-focused. Number 4, American Airlines has not flown a cargo-only flight in 36 years. Well, that changes starting today. American says it will use its grounded planes to transport cargo between the U.S. and Europe, ensuring goods can be delivered. American is grounding 55,000 flights because of decreased demand from the coronavirus. Number 5, photos have been circulating all over social media of beaches in Florida crowded with spring breakers, ignoring calls for social distancing among the pandemic. Governor Ron DeSantis has refused to order the beaches closed, so communities including Miami-Dade, Manatee, Sarasota, Naples, Tampa, and Fort Lauderdale have shuttered them on their own. Number 6, it is now officially spring, and it feels like it on the East Coast. That weather is helping Washington, D.C.'s iconic cherry blossoms to bloom. During the coronavirus outbreak, though, events associated with the trees have been canceled or postponed. National parks are open, but officials are encouraging social distancing.
And number 7, cold front is happening as we speak. It's moving through the tri-states. We've already fallen into the upper 30s in southeast Iowa, but still holding steady into the 50s through Jacksonville.
Significant economic impacts to airline and other travel industries have already begun to go into effect due to the COVID-19 restrictions on travel. A significant fiscal impact is expected to hit tourist attractions as well. The big question, how deep will this revenue decline cut and how long will it last? KHQA's Rachel Myers takes you to a local tourist spot that keeps going despite recent economic uncertainties.
Plummeting tourist revenue amidst the COVID-19 pandemic is a worldwide concern, but here's how a local tri-state attraction is combating those fears. Linda Colbert is the owner of the Mark Twain Cave.
We have been open through floods and world wars and all kinds of things. We've never closed throughout the history of the family owning the cave since 1923, so we're good.
She says there has been some changes.
People are home and they're still getting out just a little bit. We had a family of 5 just a minute ago come through, so we're taking smaller groups, 10 or less right now. So far, no one has lost their job. We're just taking smaller tours.
They are no longer hosting field trips with schools closing. Their busiest time of year is just around the corner, and they are preparing the same way that they always would. If effects of this pandemic do last longer than expected, employment at many tourist attractions could change.
And if push come to shove, we would be down to the bare bones.
Despite it all, Colbert stays positive.
My glass is always half full.
If you or your family are looking for something fun yet educational to do during this time, the Mark Twain Caves are open 7 days a week beginning at 10 a.m. and their last tour heads out at 4 p.m. every day. In Hannibal, Rachel Myers, KHQA News.
And the cave tour still include a viewing of the newly discovered Sam Clemens signature and will soon include holograms of Tom Sawyer and other characters.
Now your exclusive KHQA Elite Weather Team forecast.
Happening right now, temperatures, they have really taken a dramatic turn as we talked about that cold front and how chilly it's going to get today. Well, we're already seeing that. In fact, it is 39 degrees in Fort Madison and Keokuk, still 44. Quincy's Regional Airport, 48 in Vandalia, 46 in Barrie, and that's really where that line is at the moment as that cold air filters in through Mount Sterling, Barrie, and Vandalia. Still temperatures into the upper 50s, upper 40s to lower 50s. What it feels like outside is quite a bit colder as well. It does feel more like the mid 30s at the moment, with our winds sustained right now at 18 miles per hour in Pittsfield, 21 in Macomb, 20 in Keokuk, 21 in Novelty, 18 in Monroe City, along with 18 mile per hour winds in Kirksville. These are wind gusts, so they're clocking in at 31 mile per hour wind gusts in Quincy, 25 in Pittsfield, 28 in Keokuk, 25 in Vandalia. So not only is it going to be cold today, 30 degrees colder than it was yesterday, but we're also going to be dealing with that colder air and some pretty gusty conditions. Moisture has since moved out of the viewing area. We really dodged those scattered showers yesterday. The severity of those storms stayed well north of the viewing area, but we did pick up on quite a bit of moisture throughout the morning. Clouds will be with us, and then we'll see by about 1 o'clock those clouds break up a bit, and then that cold air just continues to filter in, meaning we're going to see temperatures steadily fall today. We've already hit our daytime high, and so now we're going to fall into the 30s by this afternoon. 20s tonight, kicking off early Saturday. Mostly sunny skies, highs only in the lower 40s, so unseasonably cold tomorrow as we head into the first full weekend of spring. And then we're going to watch on Sunday as we do have a chance for another round of some rain and snow mixed together with those cold temperatures. The possibility of some light accumulation on the grassy areas is definitely possible. So today, 41 degrees, we'll hit that here in about an hour or so, then temperatures steadily falling. Winds will be out of the north, gusting up to 30 miles per hour. Tonight, 26 degrees, not quite as windy. That'll actually help things a bit. And then tomorrow, sunny and 42. Rain snow mix on Sunday. Look at that nice warm up though. Some spring-like temperatures, highs in the 50s and the 60s next week with a chance for rain on Tuesday and Thursday.
Back to your news at 5:37 and new this half hour. Truman State University in Kirksville is telling students not to return to their dormitories unless they have no other living arrangements. The school is also changing other guidelines due to health emergencies posted by COVID-19. The school will pre-screen students before allowing them to enter their dorms. Classes are suspended at Truman for the spring semester. Also new this half hour, Game Masters in Quincy is temporarily changing its store hours. The new hours go into effect today. The store will now be open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday. The coronavirus pandemic is hitting the American Red Cross hard. The organization says it has a severe blood shortage right now. That's due to an unprecedented number of blood drives cancellations. The American Red Cross says healthy people are needed to donate to help patients counting on the gift of life.
The biggest message I want to get out is that it is perfectly safe to give blood. The coronavirus is not transmittable in the way of blood transfusions. So if you have loved ones in the hospital that might be getting blood transfusions, this is not something you need to worry about. This is a worldwide statement. There has been no evidence or no data proving that the coronavirus is able to be transmitted via blood donations.
You can find out how to donate, book in your area, or ask questions by calling 1-800-RED CROSS. Beauty studios and salons continue to stay open in Illinois despite the growing spread of COVID-19. Changes salon and spa owner Amy Bangert says she's tried to think of everything she can to keep her hair salon sanitized. That includes making her own hand sanitizer and asking clients to come in by themselves for social distancing purposes. Bangert says her business does not plan to close unless absolutely necessary for reasons beyond avoiding illness.
And we never want to compromise anybody's health, our health or anything, but we do have a couple stylists here that are single mothers that need this. So we're just doing everything we can right now to be able to work and still make an income.
Several local businesses that KHQA spoke with request anyone feeling slightly under the weather should cancel their appointments. With kids out of school due to coronavirus, food security can come into question. The Quincy Public School System is just one district in the tri-states. Several are doing this, doing their part to eliminate the problem for parents and families affected by school closures. Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to noon, 5 buses are making stops at 5 locations, each to ensure that students get a breakfast and lunch during these challenging times.
We're giving out a free breakfast and a free lunch to every student that comes up to the bus. So it's just basically come and get it. You don't need any income requirement. We don't need your name. We just come and get it.
It really helps out a lot, with the stores being bare. You go to the store and I can't even find a loaf of bread. So yeah, it's been helping out a lot.
For more information on stops and times, you can call the Quincy Board of Education at the number on your screen. Again, many districts are doing this, so if you are in a shape where you could use the meals and your kids, contact your local school district to get some help. Many area school districts have canceled school, but there have been no strict orders for tri-state daycare providers. We Care Daycare in Hannibal remains open.
Parents have to work. We have a ton of healthcare providers, first responders, nurses, doctors, and their children go here, and we need to stay open so they can be at work and help people that are in need.
We Care Daycare Director Katie Neff says caretakers have been educating daycare attendees about the importance of good hygiene, and she says the kids have been really excited because they're learning the proper way to wash their hands. So you got to make it fun. Neff says the daycare has been taking extra precautions to keep students and employees safe. Healthy individuals, including kids, can carry the COVID-19 virus and pass it on to high-risk patients. All right, moving on to your morning eye-opener now. Cameras captured the moment an out-of-control car slammed into a Pennsylvania laundromat. Take a look. The crash left bricks toppled and glass smashed at Spin Cycle in Pittsburgh. The owner says nobody was hurt when the car came plowing through.
Nobody in the coin change room, which was fortunate. So there is some damage, but nothing structural.
Well, the driver, an elderly woman, was not hurt. The owner and his employees went to work cleaning up in hopes of reopening soon.
Looks like she hit it at a pretty good speed, so very lucky that she was not hurt and no one was inside.
very lucky there.
The U.S. continues its work around the clock to stop the spread of the coronavirus. After the break, though, a new report dating back to 2019 sheds light on why the government would be unprepared to fight a virus just like COVID-19.
Schreiber and weather with Tegan Orpin. KHQA This Morning, working for you.
5:44 is your time. New in our 5:30 half hour, 2 Northeast Missouri men have been arrested following an investigation into a house fire that was deemed suspicious. On Sunday, members of the Lewis County Sheriff's Office responded to a house fire at 112 West LaGrange Street. Then on Wednesday, members of the Sheriff's Office and Missouri Fire Marshal's Office arrested the owner of the home, 27-year-old Dakota Moore, on 1 count of conspiracy to commit arson. 27-year-old Cameron Neath of rural Lewistown, Missouri, was also arrested for 1 count of arson. A registered sex offender now back in jail for possession of child pornography and failure to register as a sex offender. Quincy police say this man, 49-year-old Marcus Groves, is part of an investigation dating back to January. According to public records, Groves has prior convictions for criminal sexual assault and aggravated criminal sexual abuse out of Sangamon County. COVID-19 has lowered the prices of gas across the country. According to Forbes magazine, the decline of crude oil consumption in China has caused gas prices to drop. Forbes added that the average cost of regular gas fell 12 cents per gallon last month. Experts say fewer people are hitting the roads due to social distancing, also contributing to the price of gas dropping.
I feel that it's good for us, but like I said, everybody's scared and they don't want to get out and get this gas while they should, so I encourage them to come out.
According to Business Insider, the price decline is good for consumers, but harmful for the oil industry, which could contribute to another recession.
Now, your exclusive KHQA Elite Weather Team forecast.
It is 5:46, heading into a Friday. Man, it's been a really long week, and we end it kind of cold today. Temperatures are dropping and dropping quickly this morning. That cold front literally moving through the area as we speak this morning, so temperatures will steadily be falling all day today. Now, it's not your traditional school day today, but many kids hitting the books from home. So your school day forecast, if your teacher caretaker has you getting up early today. You got 41 degrees early this morning. By this afternoon, 36 degrees, only going to get colder heading into the weekend.
New this morning, the University of Iowa now reports its first case of COVID-19 on campus. Staff say the case is being reported because the student self-identified. The student, a member of the College of Dentistry, was on campus March 12th. Campus officials say the student does not live on campus and is self-isolating. We turn now to a new report claiming the White House was warned back in October about a crisis just like this. And it wasn't the only warning about our lack of readiness for a pandemic. CBS's Mona Kozar-Abdi has the details.
This morning, a report obtained by the New York Times reveals the Department of Health and Human Services knew months before the coronavirus outbreak about severe inadequacies in America's response plan. The leaked document is dated October 2019 and outlines step by step how underfunded, underprepared, and uncoordinated the government was for a new virus like COVID-19. The simulation of a pandemic carried out by several agencies was dubbed Crimson Contagion. It specifically called attention to the scarcity of medical supplies, saying the U.S. lacks domestic stock for antiviral medications, needles, syringes, masks, and ventilators, noting that they're hard to restock in a global pandemic because they're manufactured overseas.
After the 2009 H1N1 pandemic, we did clear calculations and realized we would need to buy billions of masks.
Dr. Tom Frieden, who was the head of the CDC until 2017, says they were aware of problems. He says the agency warned the government several times since 2010. And this report in October wasn't the only recent warning. The director of national intelligence sent a warning about U.S. vulnerability in both 2018 and 2019. This comes as Senator Richard Burr, chairman of the Intelligence Committee, comes under fire for downplaying the coronavirus, despite the stark warning from friends nearly 2 weeks before the U.S. started taking steps to contain the outbreak.
It is much more aggressive in its transmission than anything that we have seen in recent history. It's probably more akin to the 1918 pandemic.
Mona Kozar-Abdi, ABC News, New York.
Well, with people staying home and cinemas closed as COVID-19 continues to spread, the term home theater taking on a whole new meaning these days. We'll take a look at some of the biggest movies available to you while you're social distancing after the break. GA this morning as we welcome you back to KHQA this morning and talking a little consumer news. And thousands of Americans, especially those working in restaurants, are already finding themselves without a job for the foreseeable future. But some companies are hiring. Domino's Pizza needs 10,000 workers as more Americans stay home and order takeout and delivery. Amazon is said to be wanting 100,000 new employees to help fulfill orders at their distribution centers. And in entertainment news, as the coronavirus continues to affect our everyday lives, including going to the movie theater, here are a few movies that come out digitally that you can watch from the comfort of your own home. What? Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker leads the charge of movies from theaters to home viewing. It's available now for digital purchase on sites like iTunes and Amazon. The conclusion of the Skywalker saga hits Blu-ray and DVDs March 31st. No word yet on a streaming date.
And a drum roll, please.
Or you can watch Cats.
Yeah, got a lot of Razzie Awards. Cats is also on sale digitally. Love it or hate it, you can take the CGI fur. Famed by Frame. The musical lands on Blu-ray and DVD April 7th.
He said that wherever I went, he would find me.
You can also find a trio of current theatrical releases from Universal on demand. The Invisible Man, The Hunt, and Emma are all available now as a 48-hour digital rental beginning today.
Yeah, we'll look for more movies that were just in theaters to reach digital and disc early as studios adjust to the situation. I'm still waiting for the new Call of the Wild.
Oh,
really want to see that. You can't, it's just pre-order still. But.
All right, well, let's take a look at the weekend forecast because we can see this, and it's kind of wild.
It's
and
very
no one
wild.
called for it.
No one. Who wanted this?
No one.
No, it's going to feel like winter this weekend. 42 degrees on Saturday, 44 with a chance for a rain snow mix on Sunday. Really makes those times we have to stay indoors a little more difficult.
Watch some of those movies. Some police officers in Florida gave us all something to smile about when they went out on their way to ensure the safety of some fine feathered friends. We'll look at that story next in your Morning Brew. In your Morning Brew at 5:56, coming through, a family of ducks got a fancy police escort in Florida. The feathered family was spotted in the middle of a busy part of town, so a Lakeland police officer personally escorted the group to safety.
Oh, well, he walked along the ducks, helping them through the twists and the turns and the barriers, and ultimately the flock safely made their way back to the nearby lake.
Lakeland police shared the video, saying even in times of uncertainty, there's always something to smile about. And I agree. You got to find the humor in sometimes some bad situations, or just look at cute animal videos as well.
That's really all you have to do. Cute animal videos are good. I will say the St. Louis Zoo Penguins also have to take a field trip around the zoo, if that's also on social media
Check it out.
to look at.
So we have kind of an ugly weekend ahead of us, and then things get better.
They do. So we got to roll through today, tomorrow, and Sunday first. Cold, dreary, yucky out, and then by next week we'll still have a chance for rain, but it'll be much warmer.